Hello guys, this is going to be a very quick overview of the April updates for Glitch Machine. Not going to be covering the setup of Glitch Machine since the setup process has not changed. If you are entirely new to Glitch Machine, go and watch the Getting Started with Glitch Machine video and you can use that video to set everything up on your computer. Use that video to get set up basically. The April update is so far the biggest update that I've put out for Glitch Machine, and it is of course completely free to anyone who already owns Glitch Machine. This update adds new textures, new animations and new effects. So I already have the April update opened up here. When you get the update email, just look for the download link that is titled V0424 because that is the newest version. You can see here the default effect is still pretty much the same as previous versions, and there are some new layers. If I just pull this up, you've got some new layers in blue and one new layer in yellow as well. The yellow comp file is like still a work in progress, and I might actually delete it in a future update if I can't get anywhere with it, but I'll cover what that is in a minute. So to summarize, so far obviously we've had the default Glitch Machine version in October, then a November update, a March update, and now April. So to cover the new compositions added in the April update, first I've added this complex noise layer comp, which is just here, layer number 21. So it has this cool animated crunchy chromatic noise texture in here that you can use instead of the simple noise layer if you want. And if you click into the composition, you can change to a different animation, or you can add like a levels adjustment, you can make it monochromatic, or you can change the frame rate of the texture basically. I'm just going to leave that default because I'm not covering like any specific effect today. So yeah, if you want something a little bit more interesting noise wise in your work, you can enable the complex noise layer. I've also added an image bloom comp. So if you come up here to layer number 5 and double click on image bloom, it basically creates a glow with an angle, so it looks a little bit more realistic, and you can change the angle and you can change the threshold as well, so you can sort of control what goes into the glow and what doesn't. As you can see, this is pretty easy and like basic to set up if you ever wanted to just replicate this in your own work. This one was just me adding in something that I did in a different After Effects project. I just thought I may as well throw it in Glitch Machine in the new update. You'll also notice if you come down to layer 20, there is another instance of the CRT screen texture composition. This isn't new, I've just duplicated it and added it into the right point. So this CRT screen texture at 20 is the same composition used at CRT screen overlays at layer number 7. The reason it exists twice now is because the way to use this is basically whatever blend mode you pick for this top CRT screen texture composition, you can now pick like an opposite or complementary one for the lower one, and this is going to contribute to not only filtering your work through the texture at number 7, so that's filtering your work through the texture. By applying it again at number 20, you are also filtering the effects through the texture. It's completely optional, you don't have to have it on. If you do have it on, it's just going to contribute to the like overall glitch effect, but it's completely optional if you don't want to use it. If you would like to know more about what I mean by like complementary blend modes or opposite blend modes and stuff, you can go and watch my video where I explain every single blend mode. But for an example, if you use the screen or the lighten blend mode for the top CRT texture, you could then use darken or multiply on the lower CRT texture. Yeah, that way they just kind of like complement each other. Another new comp I've added is the animated CRT textures. So if you come up to layer number 3, actually it's just named animated textures. I'm just getting the word CRT stuck in my brain now. So yeah, this one has its own tab as well. If you double click, you can see here, this might not look like much is going on, but I'm just gonna wait a second to like render out this file. So you can see here is a little bit laggy on my computer right now for some reason, probably because I'm zoomed in at 400%, but just so you can see it, I've zoomed in. You can see all these little imperfections in the scan line that are just distorting the texture. There's also another one in here which again like doesn't look too complicated or anything when you zoom out, but if you zoom in, and again I'll just wait for this to render out. So again it's a little bit skippy because I'm so zoomed in, but yeah, there's all these nice little imperfections and like little image glitches that are in the texture, so that if you apply this to your work, like your work will inherit some of that stuff as well. Again, this is all like really subtle stuff that on its own maybe doesn't look too glitchy or doesn't look like a big change, but the more options I add to Glitch Machine gives you access to more combinations and therefore more unique effects, more possible outcomes for your work, that you want to do in Glitch Machine. So yeah, I like both of these textures, and there's just a little flip horizontal tool there if you wanted to flip it without actually having to do it yourself. So if I enable that, you can see kind of how the little cells in the texture come through with the chromatic aberration onto the text. All these new assets are of course completely unique and animated by me specifically for Glitch Machine as well, so you won't find this stuff in any of the default settings or anything like that. As always, all of the compositions I've made as well have their own tab in the same way the Your Artwork Here tab exists and stuff. So all you got to do is just either double click on the composition in the layers panel or just navigate here at the top and you can control everything that you want to use. So outside of new compositions and new files, I have also added some new little effects sort of packaged into their own adjustment layers. You'll see them here in blue. I've tried to name them descriptively, but just to explain what's happening when you apply each of these. So the first one is called contrast adjustment, and yeah, it literally just is that. It's just a contrast adjustment. This one's here for if you are going to apply the other blue adjustment layers, if that makes sense. So if you are going to use any of the other blue effects or the textures, I would recommend applying that specific contrast adjustment just to compensate for any contrast you might have like adjusted through applying those effects. That might not sound like it makes sense, but if you start messing with the blue layers without the contrast adjustment and then enable it, you'll see what I mean basically. But it's up to you whether you want to use it or not. That one isn't doing much, but yeah, that's the only reason I added it. Next, we have a layer called Sharpen Glow. This one is not adding a sharp glow, it is sharpening your existing glow. So as it says here, you can apply it if you want to. It'll say that in the comment section, but yeah, you should only really apply that if you already have applied a glow like underneath the Sharpen Glow. So basically if you're not using this glow, then don't turn this on. Next up, we have Glitch Grain. I'm going to apply this and zoom in to find a spot where I can show you in the artwork that it's gonna be noticeable. But essentially any areas where you've got like the scanline texture coming through, if you apply the Glitch Grain adjustment layer, the grain's gonna influence the scan lines. So let me see, I don't know if that comes across very well. Let me have a look. Yeah, you should be able to see it just here. Again, like this isn't a big effect, which is why it's just in its own adjustment layer. It does contribute to like the overall glitch effect, but it is optional, so yeah, on or off, totally up to you. Next one above that, we have got Light Channel Glow. This one is adding a glow to your work using the channel blur effect and the add blend mode. Pretty simple, and it's just a different way of adding and controlling a glow effect really. The blue effects here were added to support and make the typography effect that I'm going to show in another video just more easy for you to put together. Now lastly, we've got the displaced modulation effect. Now to show you this one, I'm just going to change the artwork to something a little bit less chaotic and a little bit more simple. This is just some typography from the next tutorial I'm going to upload, but this will demo it a little bit better because there's less going on. So if you double click into the displaced modulation effect composition, you can see that this one, like, to be honest with you, I don't know if I said this already at the start of the video, but I was gonna just delete and abandon this and not put it in the update, but I was like showing the new update to some people in my Discord, not like a public one, just with my friends, and they all really liked the effect. So yeah, I just thought I would leave it in just to see if people like it or not. You can control it with this levels adjustment here. You can control the displacement as well if you like. I do leave them locked though by default, so if you just unlock the layers, click on Glitch Machine Noise Loop 2 and then just adjust the horizontal displacement, you can see that the words start coming through. Those of you who are familiar with like modulation and circuit bending and stuff will know that this is not the intended effect and that this does not look any good, but yeah, I just thought I would leave that in just because yeah, people seem to like it. I don't know, I might delete that in a future update, and if you would just like to delete it from your Glitch Machine file, that is fine because it's not needed really. But yeah, I'll go back now to the default. See, like, it just looks insane on the normal artwork. It might be okay for like a couple of frames in a video, maybe. I don't know, you might get like 1 or 2 frames out of this, but yeah, just feel free to delete that one if you also think that is rubbish. So that's everything covered for new additions to the April update. If you would like to learn how to use this update to create text effects like this one that I've just loaded up, or maybe I'll show some of the other ones on screen. You might also have seen me post about this effect online. The next video I upload after this might be tomorrow, or maybe it might even be the same day. The next video I upload will show you from start to finish how you can get this exact effect. This is literally the file that I end up with at the end of the tutorial that I've just loaded back up. So yeah, once I've edited that video, that will go up straight after this one. Really big thank you to anyone who has supported Glitch Machine. I really appreciate it. Please get in touch by email if you have any error messages or issues or questions about Glitch Machine. One thing I will also mention at the end of this video is just that I'm happy and I don't mind at all responding to your DM about like a Glitch Machine error or problem or something that you want to know, but it might be better and quicker for you to just watch the tutorials and the playlist that I've put together already, because I obviously might not be at my computer or whatever to reply to your DM straight away. Yeah, have a look in the files that you get with Glitch Machine, and one of them is a link to the playlist where you can watch every tutorial for any effects, error messages, setup guides and stuff like that for Glitch Machine. Thank you very much for watching. Next video covering this exact effect, so I will see you all in that video. Thanks for watching.